coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And it's a pretty good return here, so we'll get this up to the 29. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State, the former Spartan. It's Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
Play fake. Cousins. And right away, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this will be caught by Mooney. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own
so out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
They'll start on the ground with Irvin. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Tackled at the 25-yard line.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Mayfield on play action. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Now Mayfield. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. The Falcons send Jamal Agnew deep to return. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, they come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's and he returns it to the end zone. Recovery touchdown. Give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now we're going to get a timeout because we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. And they come up here now, first down. Checks this one down to Robinson. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to bring up second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go play action. Cousins. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And the slot man goes in motion left. Now here's a fake and a jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So the penalty there for a block in the back.
And that's when we normally see a blocker put his hands up right away to say, no, I didn't do it. But this time, yes, you did.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Throw left side. There's London. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. To throw it is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Darnell Mooney.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of the game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Mayfield now. And this one is incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Now a 2nd and 10. In motion left, Godwin. And again, it's Mayfield. And this is Shepard on the catch. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's a gain of 6.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. From the gun, Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. They go play action. Mayfield. Throw left side. Held in by Otten. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. And he is going to lose yardage here. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Mayfield. Quick throw there is incomplete.
Mayfield's pass.
I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them, because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's brought down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Throwing, Cousins. His throw incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Yards to go.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Cousins. And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete.
And that is not what you expect from a receiver of his caliber. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself. You don't look it in, and all of a sudden it's on the ground. A surprise to all.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkout bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. To throw, Mayfield. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Mayfield. Now he'll tuck this and run. Now Mayfield lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Had some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near, and you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. They'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
It's a gain of 18.
A nice pickup there, 18 yards. First down, Falcons.
First down.
Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
To throw, Cousins. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 3rd and 7. Now Cousins. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Bucs will take over here at their own 12-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. A quick throw. Here's Shepard. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
1-yard gain.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 9. Mayfield to throw it. Completes this again to Shepard. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Sterling Shepard. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
He's been a busy man in this first half. They've targeted him quite a bit, including both plays here to start this drive. And until that defense starts reacting a little better, they may just keep going back to him.
Baker going to give it to Irving. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Thirty-eight-yard line, 2nd and 9. Mayfield off the play fake. No, he doesn't have it. Maybe some alligator arms there going over the middle. 3rd down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Results.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there's good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And here now come the Falcons. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Oh, there's a nice move by Robinson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They work now on 2nd and 9. On play action, Cousins. This pass is caught by London. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. They go play action. Cousins. The kicker here, it's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Second and 12.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
As a quarterback, you got to be cautious. You got to understand where the pressure is going to come from. This time, it's a cornerback coming after him. And this time, the cornerback just a bit late getting to him. The penalty assessed.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. Oh, heck of, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Bijan Robinson, 14 yards. And the Falcons are an extra point away from taking the lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And now this ball picked up in the end zone. Remember, this is a live ball.
That ties the game 6-6.
Five plays there on that drive. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run. So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
26-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The last series for him, a little disappointing. Forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 26. On play action, they'll throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Now Mayfield lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to get this one back, so it is a 1st down. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
Well, the jet sweep, this is Godwin. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Mayfield wants to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, following the play here, now we've got an injury. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Mayfield. They're looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Banks. And the Falcons will have solid field position here as they take over at the 45-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now a handoff to start it on Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the quarterbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. A first carry for Tyler Algier. And some room to maneuver. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
A gain of 22
That good for 22
yards.
and a first down.
That's another Falcons first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Algier gets the toss right. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now 2nd and 9. So they'll run. Here comes a rookie from Michigan State. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Cousins. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. And that will not get there. Wow. It was online, but no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game.
Brandon, nothing short of a shocker here. I mean, this is pretty close to chip shot range. Most kickers, they're going to hit the top of the net, maybe even put it over the net. And I know this one didn't get blocked, yet it doesn't even get there.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 23. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here's 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Third and 5. Mayfield now. He'll try and do this himself. Now Mayfield lost the football. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
That's good for a first down.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Here's the first carry for Sean Tucker. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3. Mayfield now from the 50. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Mayfield's pass intended for Devin Culp. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the ball comes loose. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Well, my friend, this is certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust, because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
The They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 44-yard line, here's second down at 7. Here's Cousins. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
A 7-yard gain. And the Falcons, first down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Throwing is Cousins. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
For number 84.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. That is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Cousins again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Now here's Bradley Pinion now.
The Bucs take over first.
The Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Here's Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Complete.
So it'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll make it second down.
24-yard line.
Let's make this one simple.
4 yards
what a
on
catch.
the pickup.
Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. A quick pass here. He's got Shepard. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route,
at the
what you're hoping
32-yard
for
line.
is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Play fake. Mayfield. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
Buccaneers, first down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that was wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Here's White. They set up the screen. Final move at midfield. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. To throw, Mayfield. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Going with White here, toss left. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Some big plays in the passing game on this chart. Here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's White. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. But now he appears to be in some pain. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Second and goal from the 1. They go play action. Mayfield. A flow left sideline falls incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Mayfield. And he's got it. End zone touchdown, Tampa Bay. Touchdown. From a yard out. And the Bucs have taken the lead. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
And again, it's no good. A few bluebirds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half.
Chase McLaughlin to
So
kick
with
off
the missed
for the
PAT
Buccaneers.
in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And that's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Play fake. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it. He already had the one fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Check. Lucky.
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. First down, here's White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And we'll pause here for an injury. I believe that's a running back. Yeah, that's Rashad White, who's shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. This is caught. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Mayfield to throw it. Touchdown! 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bucs are able to stretch out their lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
McLaughlin for the extra point.
For the point after.
Can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Now a hit, now loose football. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield.
Holding.
Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Algier goes straight ahead. Hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Second and 16. Off the play fake, Cousins. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
You see this a lot on corner blitzes because they don't want to get a shot at the quarterback, so they want to take it when they can. But this time, the hit came too late. Easy call for the official.
Now Cousins. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air. Because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Throwing, Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
21 yards.
A gain there of 21 yards.
First down. A gain of 21 yards.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
Washington in motion left. Now a fake on the jet sweep. And they'll instead run up the middle. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Levante David in on the tackle.
At the Bucs' 33-yard line.
Ball at the 33, second and 9. They'll send the tight end in motion. Cousins. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, the pressure pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Into the hands of London. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now we'll pause for an injured player. And that's wide receiver Drake London who's shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Setting up the screen. Here's Algier. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tyler Algier. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Falcons have cut it back within a score. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The kick
Gonzalez
is
good on the extra point.
Makes the score.
And the decision to just keep the extra point winds up successful.
13.
Ralph Pinion with a kickoff honors following the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time I look and repeat that in Charles's defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground with White. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
It's a gain of
52 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Mayfield looks to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons 16. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. And we'll pause here for an injury. I believe that's a running back. Yeah, that's Rashad White, who's shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Mayfield down. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Sterling Shepard from 13 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Chase
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And running with power here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
At their own 33.
Atlanta regains possession of the football. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
A quick throw out wide to Mooney. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Algier now up the middle. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Shotgun snap and again to Carter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Cousins. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Cousins from the gun on third. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The Bucs defense stiffens and pushes this to fourth down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he's fortunate on that one. Not got another turnover on his ledger.
51-yard attempt.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And that will keep this a 12-point game.
Falcons 13.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's a second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down.
Brings up third down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Mayfield. And that will be incomplete as well.
Incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Field goal. A 31-yard attempt.
Oh, this is a complete mishit. It's no good. Didn't even get it there. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Looking to put a drive together. Cousins now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing, Mayfield. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll set up to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Mayfield on play action. That's complete right around the 8. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. In motion goes the tight end. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
Intended for Payne Durham.
So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
A 20-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a 3-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Buccaneers are able to extend their lead. McLaughlin for the extra point.
For the point after.
He missed it again. The 4th time now in this game alone, and that has to be great cause for concern over on that sideline.
Chase McLaughlin.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First and 10.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground. Carter. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
He was brought down at the 28-yard line.
Defense is always talking about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. A throw to the flat for Carter. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Falcons on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Drake London.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dive defense. Blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So out come the Bucs now. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
He was brought down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. To throw, Mayfield. Out to the right here to Shepard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Mayfield. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Mayfield now from the 50. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Attack here. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Second and 8 coming from the 19. Mayfield to throw it. This ball complete to Durham.
Mayfield's pass.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Brings up
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Can you believe this won't even make it there? It's no good. And this will remain an 18-point lead. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
In motion, the tight end. Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Brought down behind the line
It'll
of
be
scrimmage.
a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Third down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
To throw it is Cousins. That one deep for London. And he knocks the ball away. The throw is incomplete.
Intended for Drake
Early
London.
on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
At their own 20-yard
Hopefully,
line.
obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Watch the motion.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
By the Falcons.
So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. On the other side has got it. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Mayfield keeps it himself. And he's going to have the Bucs first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may be a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's got this down to the 35. Well, that flag puts them on their heels a little bit more defensively as the officials walk it upfield.
Yeah, and they can blame the officials all they want, but bottom line, it's their own fault because, to me, this is an avoidable call. Stay focused and avoid major mistakes like that.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Mayfield looks to throw. Targets Miller here on the out route. He's got him.
Mayfield's pass.
And a gain of 5.
To number 81.
3rd and 7 now.
It's a gain
that's
of 5.
what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Johnson goes in motion left. Mayfield now. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Looking to put a drive together. Cousins lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs are able to add on to their first half lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And they open the lead up now to 25 points.
Makes the score Buccaneers
a nice
38.
tidy little drive
Falcons
there, getting
13.
the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Falcons offense set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Now Carter to start the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has a 2 defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside. Where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers, and if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Robinson up the middle. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 43, here's second down and 7. A give up the middle to Carter. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Stick looks to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
His pass.
Darnell Mooney, the target there. And it'll bring up third down.
Brings up third down and 17.
We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. A quick hitter complete. It's Robinson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Here's Bradley Pinion now
formation.
as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. From the gun, Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot.
It's second and inches at the 39-yard line.
A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. And Evans will have a Bucs first down as he's up to the 43.
A gain of 4 yards.
4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive.
Evans.
Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Here's Mayfield. It's caught. It's Miller. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a mistake there, Charles, from the rookie pass rusher.
And oftentimes when you make the jump from college to the NFL, you have to adjust to the rules. But in this case, the rule's no different than in college. Once the ball's gone, you can't continue on and get your shot in. That's one where you have to have some discipline. And even though he's a rookie, he really should know better.
For number 19.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it. Don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. In motion left, Godwin. Throw it, Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Defense.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Throw right side, take it in by Godwin. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Chris Godwin from a yard out. And the Bucs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes. McLaughlin for the extra point.
For the point after. The
And this is off the crossbar, but it makes it over anyway.
The score, Buccaneers 45.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's Chris Godwin who finishes things off with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they're going to be forced to try and get something out of this drive. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
A gain of 12. And a Falcon first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Stick back to pass. Into the hands of London. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll throw now on the final play. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot it. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, that is just a flat miss. He's in the pocket. The protection holds up. He sees his man come free, but maybe he just gets a little excited about the prospect of a long touchdown.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen here, and you never know what you're going to get in the NFL. Sometimes it goes down to the wire. Other times, it's blowout city, like what this game is shaping up to be. But hey, anything can happen, so let's go to the second half. Send it back out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scotty, thank you as always. Well, likely 2 very different halftime speeches by these head coaches, that's for sure, as we get set for half number 2.
Bradley Pinion.
The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Baker Mayfield leading the Buccaneer offense out for another series. And he's got to be wondering what happened in that first half. 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic.
And even the great ones go through phases like this, like what we just saw. And most of them, they have such a mental capacity to throw it out and essentially start over. I think that's where he's headed now.
He's got his opportunity to throw it out. Let's see how he does. Looking to put a drive together. Now Mayfield. And a quick throw here that's complete. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete.
Intended for number 19.
And that is exactly what you needed defensively. It's a long road back from here, but that's a good start to the second half as they force a punting situation and a 4th down.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Now the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Make it now 3 tackles for loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield, and spilling everything.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
It's time to give more credit here to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. And they'll run it here. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player,
You go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
To start it out, Robinson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Brings up second.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on second down. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And that will be incomplete. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Buccaneers offense and Baker Mayfield set to take over once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
And they'll go on the ground. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. A 2nd and 11 from the 19. To throw, Mayfield. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Mayfield showing he can be fleet of foot, picking up the first down.
It's a gain of 14 yards. And a first down. 1st and 10.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second down and 8. Evans comes in motion right. Mayfield. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That is caught. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 43. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They go play action. Mayfield. Looking for Godwin again, and he's got him once more.
Mayfield's pass.
So no gain on the play. Godwin. And it's second down.
No gain on the play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. But the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Mayfield on play action. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Chris Godwin with his second touchdown of the night. And the Bucs just continue to roll. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
And now the kick short, but this is a live football picked up in the end zone. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Able to slither by. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Second and 9. They're going to go play action now with Stick. They'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. First and 10, it's Robinson. I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment.
Offense.
Let's see what our referee says. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Off play action, it's Stick. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Just what they need, electric and made. The subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Here's Stick looking to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and giving him a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Into space at the 45. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
And that one on the rookie, Charles, maybe a little too overeager.
You know how many times you talk about the quarterback having to have a clock in his head and make sure the ball gets away before the rush gets there? When you're a pass rusher, you have to know when the ball is gone and make sure you don't hit the quarterback afterwards. I know he's trying to make a play, but that time, he ends up drawing the flag.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From the 20, here's second and 3. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Now Stick. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They'll run with Robinson. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Again, it'll be Robinson. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Looking to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Holding, offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Incomplete.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks. And he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A 31-yard attempt.
And that will not get there. Wow. It was online, but no good. And they will remain well behind. So 1st and goal quickly turns into 4th and goal, and then 4th and goal turns into no points whatsoever.
That's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker who has to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start on the ground with Irving. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield looks to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free. It's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. backfield from the gun on third down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more.
Tackled at the 34-yard line.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Godwin, the motion man. Mayfield to throw it. Now he'll tuck this and run. Now Mayfield lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And now meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Man in motion is Agnew. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Stick looks to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Well, hang on now, we're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Defense.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error.
Still 3rd down.
Alert. Don't jump early and give them free yardage.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's going to have a Falcons first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
A gain of 6.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far. And you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down.
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Man in motion is Agnew. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 20-yard line.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. A shotgun throw for Stick. And this is Falcon touchdown.
Complete to
Kadarius Hodge from
Touchdown.
19 yards away. And the Falcons are able to at least get one score back. And he just did get those feet in. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official.
The previous play is under review.
They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Gonzalez to add the PAT.
Extra point.
And this is no good. Boy, that didn't even get there. Not a good effort at all, and our score remains the same. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own
now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 3. Baker going to give it to Irvin. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here is 3rd and 5. Mayfield down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Robinson with another carry. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we got an injured Buccaneer. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
2nd and 7. Throwing, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Stopped immediately there. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. They work now on 2nd and 9. Here's Mayfield. And this is going to be dropped. Oh, my gracious. There was no one in his area code, but he could not hang on to it.
And 9 yards.
And that's one of the few things that has not gone right for this offense so far. They've had their share of big plays. That was nearly another. But somehow, he just couldn't squeeze it.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Now 2nd and 5. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Hand off now to Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 18. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Stick back to pass. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta.
Johnson to return it. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at about the 32. They'll start this drive out of the ground.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second and 7, operating from the 34.
They'll set up to throw. He finds his target. It's Evans.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
On the ground, it's Tucker.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 8.
Mayfield off the play fake. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh my goodness, 3 or more. Wow.
Just doesn't make any sense, does it?
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Looking to put a drive together.
They'll get it to Robinson to begin the drive.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
It's a loss of a yard.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Stick from the gun. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And the tight end goes in motion left. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking at a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. From the shotgun now, here's an inside deal.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this one will be brought back to the 22. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't it?
It really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Robinson gets the toss on the right side.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Dropped behind the line on a nice play by Deion Jones.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now back to throw.
He'll try and do this himself.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole.
2-yard gain.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
So now here comes the field goal unit again, and this phase of the game has been an absolute disaster so far. It's a 39-yard attempt right hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From the 31, here's a 2nd and 8. Now Mayfield. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Mayfield. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Well, the punt team and Vernon out there as he gets this one away. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you put something out there, you're giving yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going. And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at it that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together. as that brings up another fourth down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
At their own
no points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Second and 9 now from the 21. To throw, Mayfield. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete.
And Godwin going to have a Bucs first down as he'll get this up across the 30-yard line.
Complete.
With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
31-yard line.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime.
We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They go play action. Mayfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
Now a 2nd and 10.
From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Mayfield. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Running out of the gun with White. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
All right, so they'll march backwards on the illegal block in the back.
And that's always a really tough call for the official, and I tend to give the benefit of the doubt. Remember, a block from the side is legal, but that time they made the determination that that one did come in the back.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Here's a 2nd and 5.
They'll drop the throw. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down.
Brings up third.
The CD, they're up
5.
big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So first down, and they'll stick with Algier. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Algier gets the toss right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Here's Stick looking to throw. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
First down, here's White. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Now 2nd and 9. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. That is incomplete. Following the play here, now we've got an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. The man in motion left here, Johnson. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Starting the drive with Algier.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
Ball carrier.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
A gain of a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Man in motion is Agnew.
They're going to go play action now with Stick.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Intended for number 84.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now.
They run
straight ahead here with White. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, they come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment. From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 9. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Troy Anderson, the man on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 10. He'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he won't get much.
Ball carried.
Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
By J.D. Bertrand.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So now here comes the field goal unit again, and this phase of the game has been an absolute disaster so far. From the right hash, this from 48. Definitely a hiccup in the operation there, and that is going to come up short, no good. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On 1st and 10, it's Algier. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Off play action, it's Stick. A quick throw there is incomplete. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Stick looks to throw. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 4th down, here's Stick. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dab. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out. First play of the drive, a 1st down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you've got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them? Break tendency, go play action and go for the big shot.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Mayfield on play action. And that's complete to Shepard. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line.
Switch gears.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And they'll go to the ground attack here. And the Bucs are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And this is Shepard on the catch. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Here's Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it.
Holding. Offense.
Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Looking to put a drive together. Gives it to Algier to start things off. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Second and a couple. Algier with another carry. And he is going to be stuck cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. In motion goes the tight end. Now Stick. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
12 yards.
His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Second down and 6 now. Stick back to pass. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
And 6 yards to go.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw again.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And it appears the offense is going to try this again. They've yet to convert the first 3 times on 4th down, but they're going once more. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they have now gone for it on 4th 4 times, and they have converted no times.
I know we talk about analytics and how it's entered into the game, and there's a good percentage that says go for it. You will actually make a good percentage. In this case, the analytics just went right out the window. 0 for 4. They've got to start looking at things in a different way.
And they'll run it here. Hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Second and 6. Out of the pistol. Here's Williams. Down right around the 25. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he's got it. Front of the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Bucs add 6 more to their point total. And they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And now this ball picked up in the end zone. Remember, this is a live ball. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 4. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Intended for
Fair to say, it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard
The Buccaneers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You just kind of feel for the defense right now. This deficit, they have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. From the shotgun now. Here's an inside give. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mayfield looks to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.